Hey everybody, sorry for the delay. Um, Glad to have you here. So basically, with the streams, the way it's kind of going to work going forward is that I'm going to be working on stuff. But I will basically be working on it publicly. So like, if people decide to show up and have questions, like, feel free. You're more than welcome. Um, but in this particular case, I'm just going to basically work on like a character for my game, do stuff like that. So that's kind of the way it's going to work. It's not really going to be a major focus of the channel, but for those who enjoy streams and may have questions and want to catch me live, it's a good opportunity. So, plus it's also an excuse for me to budget some time to work on things. So that's kind of just how it's going to go. Um, Also, just before we begin, I want to talk about a couple of things here as well. So, for those of you who may have not caught the previous streams or and are trying to follow along, I'm also working on a character here. He's going to be one of the main characters for the game I'm making. His name is Nunko. He's basically, you could describe him as kind of like a nerdy guy. He's from Earth along with his friend, and their third friend in our group actually discovered a portal because he's a super genius and he works in their friend's garage, and he travels to a new world. So Namco is a very kind of shy individual, but he's also has a very positive attitude. He's a little bit of an idealist, but he's also, he hopes to be able to inspire people and be in some ways a hero, but he does kind of lack hero qualities. As you can tell, he's not very athletic. Um, so that would become kind of the features that you would see in the game's story, ideally. So, as far as technical things go here, what we've done so far is we've made reference images. If I hide this, you can actually see them. So I made one for a front, and I made just kind of like a BS one for a side view. When you're working by yourself on 3D models, you really don't need to be that specific with your reference images. It's really mostly just to make sure you have like your proportions down because it just makes it a lot easier to work with when you're making the 3D model. So that's really the goal mostly. I like to do more of the detail stuff on the front just so I can kind of tell like what look I'm going for. But on the side, I could care less for the most part. Um, and then up to the point we've made the face, I mean the head and the body, and I forgot to put the hands here, so we'll have to put that in as well. And we'll also have to do some facial features like the eyes, the eyelashes, eyebrows, etc. And we'll have to do the hair. So we'll do a combination of those things today, time permitting, and we'll just go from there. Anyway, oh yeah, you don't like using side views for characters? Yeah, if you don't need it, then you don't need it. It really just depends on your preference and if it's like worth it to you. It's worth it to me, like from a reference point of view. But if you don't need it, that's all the better. Anyway, let's begin. So let's actually start by doing the hands. Now, in any normal scenario, I would just take one of my other 3D models and just copy a hand off of that and then just merge it in. Actually, let me show you how to do that. Give me 1 second. I'll just pull up my other character here. And so you'll notice that she's in an A pose, which is fine. Okay. I think I might have duplicated the body. Anyway, what you would do really is you just, I think I might have backed it up here as well. You just take your hands, I think it's on the body in this case, model here. Like this. Hello again. Thank you for joining. I will probably not say names of users just because I don't want to butcher a pronunciation, but I I do appreciate you joining. So yeah, I'm basically just gonna take the hand here. Gonna make this a little bit harder for myself here. But yeah, if I just duplicate this and separate it, I got hands here. Just copy it over, and then oops, I need to go into object mode and control V. So now I got hands. And if you wanted to just like okay, for some reason my stream view likes to block it with these emotes. I don't know how to do that, but so anyway, I just want to show you how you combine hands. So in this case, I took the hands off my old model, and I would just kind of like rotate them and line them up where I would want them to be, kind of like relative to the reference image. So in this case, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm also going to just delete this here. Yeah. And just kind of move it into place. I see. Okay, so why so many different objects? Because when I was making my other character, I had all of them separated. I ended up combining them at the end. Um, Fine with butchering names, yeah, but I understand that, but it does still feel weird to me. And then make them throw gang signs. Maybe when we rig the character. That's going to be a little while from now. Probably a few streams from now. Anyway, back to where we are. So I lined up the hand just kind of here. And then what you do is you select the hands and then the model, and you press Control J to join them. Let me re-enable the screencast keys while we're on stream. So now you can see Control J, stuff like that. And what we do here is we can see that there is 8 vertices if we look at the bottom right corner here on the arm, and then there's 6 on the hand here. So it's not quite even, but that's okay. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of join them manually. So if we go into edge select mode, we just do something like this. Select just 2 edges like this, combine them like the top. Do the same thing on the bottom. Then we can just kind of, okay, see that didn't quite work as expected. And then we could just kind of merge them together like this. So actually, I will combine them like this. There's a little bit of a gap here, but we can fix this actually. Because we're going 8 to 6, there's a couple of options we can use here. Is we can just add like additional loops on the hand itself, so we can combine it like this. But that does add a lot of geometry. It may be necessary sometimes, but I don't particularly want to do that. Another option is you can use the knife tool. So like if you grab on one side, okay, you know what? Here's what I'll do. I have to click that. If you use the knife tool, you can just kind of make like a little V shape like this. And then you do, why are all my characters extra thick? That's a good question. So there is a real reason for the character to be like that. And to be fair, these are just the 2 characters that are extra thick, but there will be some other more like skinnier fit characters. Just haven't really got to them much yet. But the 2 here, Numko is chubbier because he's based on me, who is obviously not very skinny. And then Kyla is a bit thicker because, I mean, I do enjoy that kind of look, but There's also the idea that she has a bit of a body conscious kind of thing going for her, and she's also been like kind of made fun of her body in some ways. She's also just like a very shy and reserved type character that you'll find at some point that she's just a bit insecure about it. So it actually will play into her character at some point in the game story. So there actually are some reasons for the designs to be like that. Anyway, back to where we were. Do you rate rigs? I'm not sure what you mean by rating rigs. I just use Rigify for the most part. It's just quicker. Um, anyway, I'm sorry. So yeah, and then you would just hit merge vertices center. So of course this creates triangles, which is not always preferred, but it is often. Another thing you could do here is you can also just dissolve this edge here. So now you only have one triangle here, and this I think would be more ideal. And then you can do the same thing here, where you just do the knife tool, cut up to here, and just merge these two. Yeah, this would look a little bit better, and I think this would be. Oh, like other people rate rigs on live streams. Oh, um, like I know how to model 3D characters, but I wouldn't call myself an expert. It's not like I went to school for CG or anything like that. I've just been doing game dev as a hobby, and I've liked all aspects of it. So I've dabbled in every little piece of it. So I want to try to do as much of the game as I can myself. But that doesn't mean that's really going to be the case. My goal at some point is to like put a prototype of the game myself, which will be like primarily combat system and like the cutscenes and stuff like that. Um, by myself, and then if I can get like crowdfunding to get a team together, that's my goal. But I don't see that happening for probably another year or so because I still have other things I got to take care of in my life first. But it's definitely there, and I want to try to get there as soon as I can. Anyway, so this was how you can combine your hands from the other rigs. If you want me to, I can just grab this and model it like on stream if you prefer me to do that, or we can just move forward. Um, but I want to show you how you can connect the hands. So we'll do that for now. Anyway, yeah, I can kind of see the delay. Yeah, I've been thinking about moving my streams over to Twitch. Because I've been thinking about just streaming more frequently, just like as I work on things, like and that kind of thing. Maybe like weekdays I would stream on Twitch, and then weekends I could stream on YouTube. Um, it's just that my audience is already on YouTube, so I wanted to see kind of how that worked. Anyway, I'm sorry. What should we do next? Is look at my. Let's do the eyes and the eyebrows and stuff like that. So typically, the way I like to do this is hit Shift A and add a circle. And this will be for the eye. So what we'll do, scale it down a little bit, RX90 to rotate it on the x-axis, and we'll just kind of move it into place up here. On the side as well, just scale it down a little bit. What's also helpful is to actually kind of like use the reference as well. So actually kind of looks like I have on the reference sheet the eyes are a bit lower than on the model. I could correct that. Yeah. let me make that adjustment here. I'm gonna hit proportional editing here. Oops. Roll it down a little bit. There we go. And if I do this, I can line it up again. There we go, it's a little bit better. Now with the eye, I'm going to go ahead and add the mirror modifier. And then what I like to do as well is just select all, E and then S, and then I'll just also merge this at the center. So, and then you get like kind of like this shape here. I'm also just going ahead, I didn't actually like design the inside of the eye or anything like that. Yeah, a subdivided plane. Yeah, that's actually interesting because I think you did leave a comment on one of my videos saying that you subdivided plane because of the UV mapping. So let's take a look here because if we highlight the circle and we hit unwrap, that's what the UV looks like. Whereas a plane would probably just look more like a square. So I could see why that could be a valuable thing to do. Anyway, and what I'm going to do is I'll just, oops, that's not very good. So actually, before I do this, let me just make a little rim and then we'll do another kind of rim like this for the eye, the iris, and the pupil. Then I will fill this. So we'll just do, there we go. That would be a little bit better. And then I'm just going to take the eye and rotate it 15 degrees or so, like this. If you look at the X-ray mode, actually I didn't really even draw the pupil there, so you can see that would work. And what I also like to do is just grab the middle here and turn on proportional editing, and kind of like move it out a little bit. Do the same thing here. Move this further out. But you get the idea. Yeah. Yeah, square UVs are nice. Oh, I rotated this the wrong direction. Let me fix this, guys. Something was off. All right. RZ negative 15. Nope. R. I think this is correct now. Yep. Okay, good. Now I can actually just grab this and do proportional editing. I also think I want this to be a bit closer to the edge. Yep, like that. Also, one thing to note is that this is floating over the eye, so I want to fix that as well. I can do that by fixing that on the head. A little bit better, right? I want to move bits here. Okay. Now let's actually kind of move. Alright. It doesn't have to be perfect. We'll just kind of keep it like this for now. Maybe I'll just scale it up a little bit. So that's like a way we can get that to work. It does look very creepy right now. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, what other thing? I'm gonna make a quick tweak here. A little better, huh? Yeah, it still looks very creepy, but it's going to look a little bit creepy while we work on it this way, unfortunately. And I'm just going to add one more extrusion up here just to give us a little bit more room to work with. Like that. There we go. So then let's go ahead and add some eyebrows. Looks like the eyebrows. So Noko's eyebrows are a bit thicker. I guess what I'll do, I'll just go ahead and take a random plane like this, and we'll go ahead and just shape it to the. Actually, let me separate this. It's good to separate while you're working on it so you don't mess up your existing one, your existing model. I mean, just go ahead and shape this. Eyebrow, yeah. Yeah, let me know if something's unclear or if I do something too fast. I can take a minute to explain it a bit better. Okay, so that's like an eyebrow right there. Why don't I model straight from a plane for the eyebrow? Um, just because I found it more efficient to just duplicate a face off of the existing model, because then I don't have to re-add the mirror modifier or anything like that. It's just quicker. Plus, with my UVs later on, you'll see why I don't really care about them right now. I think in a more like polished environment, like after like the game prototype is done, like if I were to go back and actually like improve the look of my characters, I would actually take the time to do UV editing properly. But you'll see that I actually don't really do much of that right now. There's a very quick and dirty way you can do UV editing to like map colors. It has its advantages. You'll see like once I have the video uploaded in that, or we get to that process during the streams, I'll explain why I do that. Yeah, let me make another cut in here. Actually, you know what? I'll just inset it. There we go. And I also like to mark a scene here, so I can make eyebrows. So I can add an outline to the eyebrows later if I want to. Okay. Now all I do with the eyebrows at this point is I turn on snapping up here, just do face, face project, just do like a line rotation. And it did not do anything. Oh yeah, I gotta turn it on. Then it should snap it to the head. So actually what I'll do for add one more loop cut in here. Kind of pull it out just a tiny bit. So it's a little bit more flush with the head. Get the idea. Yeah, shape keys can be a pain in the butt as well. That's the method I use currently for like facial animations. It might be worth actually taking the time to learn how to do it with a rig. That's probably for another time though. Okay. I could spend all day tweaking this, but that's a little bit better. It'll help. And I'm just gonna go ahead and snap the eyebrows again. Then I'll just move them out the side so you can see the whole thing. And there's the eyebrows. I'll label it eyebrow for now. Okay, one other thing too is his eye sockets got all weird, so let me fix that as well. You can kind of see like over here. Yeah, it got real weird. That's probably because of the inside here. Yes. Move that out a little bit, and I'll pull this out a little bit as well. Yeah, it's probably not going to be perfect. It's fine. There we go. Better. No, I don't like that. Okay. Yeah, especially when you can't apply modifiers in a modifier fix it. So actually, in the full video when we talk about integrating it with Godot and stuff like that, I actually am going to mention a way that you can like export it without applying modifiers, so you can use shape keys more easily. Um, Basically, what we'll do is we'll make it so that we'll do the outline with the solidify modifier, but we won't actually apply it on the model. We'll actually make a shader in Godot to do that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do the eyelashes now. I'm going to select this loop here. A little bit more. And I'll just extrude out a little bit. That up a little bit as well. And I can look at kind of, it's going to be a bit hard to tell what's going on here. So let's go ahead and just press Control Plus to select just that part. And I'll just, here's what I'll do. I'll just Shift D to duplicate it and separate it, and we'll work on it this way. And then I'm going to also just remove it from here for now. And we'll go ahead and work on the eyelashes like this. It'll be a bit easier to see what's going on if I hide everything else. Here we go. So this loop right here is going to merge with the actual like eyeball, so we don't want that. The eye socket, I mean, want to edit that too much. It's going to be more important, but I can adjust it here as needed. And you can kind of see a little bit where this like black outline is here. We want to try to match that shape to the eyelashes. Not going to be perfect, but do the best I can. And then there's going to be parts where there's also just like open what do you call it? Like, yeah, openings in the eyelashes. So what I'll do is I'll also just make like a little cut here. You can remove kind of slide this in as well. And we just kind of tweak this until we have something that looks good to us. Not super exciting, I know. Yeah, I'll do the same similar thing over here. So for this side, we're going to actually have to make a little flare here to kind of push the eyelash out. Actually, you know what? I don't really have one, so I'm going to undo that. Yeah, and then do the same kind of thing here. Kind of move this loop here, and then we'll just delete these edges. And we can kind of see how this looks. All right, now move this a bit more inside. And if you want more resolution on the eyelashes, you can actually like use the knife tool. This would create triangles, but I'm not like too worried about triangles in this case. Something like that. I got a little messed up there. Okay. Yeah, do the same thing in this case here. All right. Okay. So the reason why I don't think triangles matter here is mostly just due to the fact that you could still like select the outer edge loop here on the eyelash and do stuff with it. You still want the resolution kind of low so we can merge these parts to the eye itself. But this also gives us just a bit more room to like clean this up and make it a bit nicer. Oops. So like I can smooth this out as well. Kind of line it up closer to the reference. So yeah, it's also with video game characters, you don't have to be as stringent with triangle use as you would with more traditional models because it's going to be converted into triangles anyway in the game engine. Okay, so we have like an eyelash. So now next thing we're going to do is merge it back onto the eye. So let's see. Select both, Control J, and then now this is where it kind of gets a bit difficult. So here's what I'll do. I'll just select this whole outside part as well as the eyelashes. And you can hit Shift H and that will make that part only visible. And then we could just go ahead and try to merge stuff. Oh yeah, and then there's this part here, we can hide that too. So what we'll do is we'll just try to find each vertex on the side of the eye, just select the eye first and then the eyelash. Click M and just do at last. We'll just repeat that process so it merges to like where we made the adjustment. And then we also got this one here. It's perfect fit. And then let's see. Right. And then we got this. repeat, rinse, and repeat. Okay, see, so there is going to be some imperfections because you see we actually did like we made some cuts. Actually, this one merges here. Oops. Right here. I'll move this a little bit as well. So we're going to have some loose parts on the eyelashes. So what we'll do to fix that, so I will actually just make a cut here. Not ideal, but it's fine. Slide this a little bit. Then same goes for here. Okay, now if I reveal it with Alt H, this is what it looks like. And then we can just kind of clean this up. So the eyelash does go pretty far out, as you can see. We'll just kind of clean it up a little bit. And then there's parts that are also just kind of intersected in there. So it's okay. Let me move this a little bit. A little bit easier. And I'll move this part as well. And something got clipped in there. Can't see it. All right, well. Okay. So that's our eyelashes. So one thing I probably should have done was made a but actually what we can do give me a sec. Do it like this, and then we can just kind of add an extra layer. Make things easier to clean up here. And then if we need to grab inside part, that. And really it's just a matter of just kind of making it so it doesn't clip itself too much. You can also move the eye socket as well, too. I'm just gonna kind of did wrong there. And we'll just look at this compared to the head reference sheet, and then we should be alright. Halfway decent now. So now there might have been some issues with the normals, so I'm just going to go ahead and recalculate the normals outside. This should be a little bit better, although I don't think it actually did it right. Something's not quite right here. Get my normals real quick. Bit of a well, anyway, that will be fine for the time being. Actually, I want to raise this up a little bit. I can clean it up a bit later if needed. Might also just have to mess with this auto smooth thing. Okay, so we got some eyelashes and eyebrows now, and then we also have the eye. So we can put this. Oh yeah, let me clear the seams or clear sharp on here. Okay. Move on for now. Okay, so what we gotta do next is we can do the hair or the clothing. So maybe we'll start with the jacket. It's just a hoodie, really. Um, but we can start with that. What I'll do is we'll just begin by got X right here, circle select, kind of like arm and everything like this. Shift D, and then separate by selection, and now we have like a jacket we can work with. want to do is we'll use some cloth sims, but we'll clean this up first. Alt S, just give us a little bit more space here. I'll clean this up as well. Oops, actually, my bad. I'm gonna actually delete that. Yeah. This crease too. Now we kind of got, oops, down a bit too. Oops. Might need to be undone here. Yeah. So we could start with this to make the hoodie. We'll do the hood part after that. So one way we could do this is we can use a cloth simulation. And then what I would do is take the neck area and bring that back down kind of toward the base of the model. And we'll create a vertex group, which we'll use as the pin. And then we can set up cloth physics. So what I'll do, set our playhead to 0, go to, click on the shirt, go to cloth. Now set it, I like the silk one, not that it's actually silk. If you play it now, it's just going to fall. So we'll actually go ahead and set up everything to make this work. And I can do the pin group. You just go down to shape, select the pin group. Now see, that's a little better. But obviously we don't want that. We want it to collide with the... So to do that, you just select the body, hit collision. And I like to make these, actually damping the thickness, outer and inner, as small as possible. And that will help. However, we have to also adjust the setting on this side too. Should be a collisions here. And object collisions, we also shrink. Self collisions, we also shrink. And then it should, there we go. So now it should make some ripples and stuff for us too, which is helpful. So it just gives us something we can work with if we want to do it that way. But I would just apply this cloth sim, and then we would make some tweaks to it to clean it up. So let me go ahead. Let me just convert this to a mesh for now. And then we can go ahead and we'll mirror it, but we'll do that later. Now we can go into sculpt mode. We can make some like changes to it. Like if we want to sculpt mode, click the X mirror here. Oops. If you want to like make some adjustments to the shape of it. Do it that way as well. Clean it up a little bit. Want to smooth it out a little bit as well. That also helps. template brush just to so it goes slightly above everything. And then that's kind of how you do it. Then what I'm also going to do is, because the hoodie is also supposed to kind of end up here, you kind of see like, kind of want it to wrap around his belly a little bit. So actually, about this. So we wanted to kind of like do something like this, right? Obviously, that's not really going to cut it this way. I'll go ahead and do a volume snap on it. Maybe not volume. No, I think it's the one I wanted. Here's that should work. And I can do like a little bit. I can do an extra extrusion here. We'll do something like that. And we'll just kind of scale it out a little bit. Play around with that, and then we'll just go ahead and smooth these parts out. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to crease this. Actually, no, I want to crease here. Now we have kind of like this. I also want to hide this so we don't mess it up. That's fine. Now I can go back to skull mode and we'll just kind of like play around with the shape here. And do that as well. Yeah, and then this part will just be snapped, basically. And that will, we can use that kind of as a way to make this hoodie. Alright, and then what I'll do, name this hoodie, jacket, hoodie, whatever that works. And what I'll do is we'll make the pocket part. So actually, you know what? What I'll do at this point is I'll actually just cut this thing in half. We can apply the mirror modifier to it. Alright, and then I will just reapply the mirror modifier. We'll just go ahead and flip it together. Okay, now we can try making this pocket. I think the way I want to approach this, I actually want to just select all these faces here. Oops. Let's do it the hard way. of smooth the edge here. And I'm going to Shift E, increase this here. So yeah, this does look funny. Select. Alright, so what we want to also do, here the pocket is, I think I want to add one more loop cut in here. Then typically you'd have some sort of like hole. Actually, I'll just go into sculpt mode. Pocket kind of inside of it. Did I also? Yeah, you know what? I have made this too wide. I'll just undo it. Sec. Might actually not work. Here, let's do this. Dissolve edges. Let's smooth this out a little bit here. Okay, there we go. We're back to kind of where we were. Right, so the reference here, yeah, the pocket's supposed to be a lot smaller. So I think we want to just kind of grab. So I'm actually going to undo this. I messed up. Look at the pocket. It's kind of like these faces. I'll select here. And we can go ahead and and I'll just kind of deselect them on this side here. The hard way, I guess. Yeah. Then I will extrude this part. Gonna move this up a little bit. Move these out to the side. Like the pocket part. Add one more loop cut here, and then edge crease. That. So if I really wanted to, I could just like delete kind of like these. And like you can create like a pocket like this. But that does also mean that I'd have to also replace it on the inside as well. I think what will happen instead is I'll just fake the hole with the texturing. Let's go ahead and fix this up again in sculpt mode. Okay, so you can see this ridge here. What I'm actually going to do is that's because of this topology here. So I'm actually just going to um, kind of ignore it basically. So just dissolve these edges here. We'll just reroute the flow. Let me see. Just thinking about this for a sec. Like this for a minute. Yeah, like this. Basically, I want to just widen this. We get kind of something like this. Then this can also dissolve as well. See what I'll do. Geometry a little bit here. All right. But if you look at that, see, it kind of removes the ridge part. Oops. That's basically what I want to do. So I'll actually just do it this way. So there's a face here. Then sorry. Yeah, I'm just trying to correct this here. Yeah. Go ahead and hide the. And what we'll do is we'll for now we'll just do something like that. I think the issue more so is that I want the extra geometry there. Solve this as well. We'll make this part the creased part. Now I can kind of just, yeah, it's not pretty, but it's fine. Okay, I think I want to fix up here.
So this is off the top of my head. It's not great, but I can do a little bit of research on this. And next time I stream, I'll tell you what kind of fix I can make to it. But let me recalculate the normals. Still didn't fix it for me. I'll just delete this face then. Normals reset. Yeah, sometimes it screws up here. I figure out why that happens. Oh, see? Okay. Follow this edge. Yeah, and now at this point, I'm just gonna sculpt the a little bit more flush. Yeah. Okay, I see what happened here. There we go. There we go. Better fix that problem. And yeah, and then I just want to move down a little bit more here. Kind of flush. Alright. And if I wanted to as well, I can also crease this part and move it out a little bit. And you can kind of see that I creased it. I'm gonna uncrease. Sometimes it just requires playing around with it until it looks the way you want it to look. Okay. We'll also use texturing and coloring as a way to fix that up as well. Cool. So I mean, it's something. It's like a hoodie there. Okay, I want to fix this over here as well. Actually, what I'll do, had some problems here. Okay, there we go. That's better. Yes, extruded a couple times. There we go. That's pretty good. So that's the part of the hoodie. The other part we'll have to do is the back, the hood that goes in the back. If you look at the reference image, it's going to be kind of like part of it's going to be on the front and some that's on the back. I think what I would just do in this case is I would just make it like probably by hand. I think that would probably be the easiest way to do it. So what I'll do is I'll just take this ring around the neck and we will work off of that. So I'm just going to hit Shift D and then I'll separate it and we'll make that the hood. Oops, this is the hoodie. I want the hood. And what I would do here is we'll just make like a big extrusion, kind of like this. And we can kind of shape it along this way. Kind of hard to see doing here. But do something like this, we can kind of move around the outside a little bit, kind of make this kind of shape. And yeah, that's what I do. Kind of move it like up to here. Kind of move around the perimeter. This. Actually, it might be easier if I just delete the top vertices altogether. And then I just snap it. Snapping to do this, right? Kind of make this perimeter. Shape here. This. Get this one to 1 here. Actually, just in the back, it doesn't matter as much. Now we should have. Here we go. And snapping off and extrude it a little bit. Now we can kind of shape it. Get the idea. I'll have to clean up some of the verts here. It's not perfect, but get the idea. Yeah, and I'll just kind of align this up. I'll just dissolve some while we work on it. A bit extra here, I think. Okay. So what I need to do is figure out. There's this inside part as well. Like extrude it in. Yeah, there you go. So you can see the inside part now. And we can make adjustments to that, but then I could take the outside faces and we'll just pull them way out. So it kind of effectively makes this like hood shape. I actually like took kind of that. Then what I'll do from this point forward, we'll hide everything, including the angry face there. Kind of and we'll work on this shape here. So one other thing, yeah, let me add another here. I move this out a little bit. Let me shape this as smooth as well. Actually does lack a subdivision, so set that as well. Yeah, it's a little better. So what we should ideally have is, I think I want to like take some of these inner loops and extrude them as well. I think what I'm gonna do. It's selected. So like I can make like the inside of the hood, and we can kind of like move this out. Not worried about that quite yet. Go ahead and go into sculpt mode and just kind of shape it. I could bring the body back here. Okay, yeah, so you can see how starting to shape up a little bit here. But this would be nice and exaggerated as well. I'll just kind of round this out as well. And then we want to, there we go. I think it's the job done for the most part. I want to also just make sure it's more connected to the might need a little bit more geometry. Looks okay at the moment though. So ideally, what I would do is in the game engine, I would actually apply a rig to the hood part, and we can add like a jiggle bone to it to make the hood move as well, so kind of like go side by side. You'd probably even have like a gravity type thing on it. I'd have to clean this up a little bit, but that's more or less the idea of how I would go about making the hood. Oh, so pull up the hoodie again as well. And yeah, then you'd also have to do like the strings and stuff like that. So I think for this stream we'll do the pants because that's going to be really easy, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight. Um, and we'll just go from yep, and we'll wrap it up for tonight, and then the next time we'll just continue where we left off. I might actually spend a little bit of time as well outside of the stream to see if I can make the hoodie a bit nicer. But this was just kind of the approach I was taking based on like what I would know to do. So yeah, just to do the pants. Pants are super easy. I'm literally just going to take like um actually you know what, I will hide the hoodie as well just to make this easier. Also, I should name this body. Okay, that's just gonna be easier. I'm literally just gonna take like yeah, I'll just take like this edge loop here all the way down. Like the ridge of the feet. Use the circle select to do that. Then okay, I selected some extraneous vertices. That happens sometimes. Shift D, duplicate it, separate it, select the pants, select pants, and then let's just take a look. So the pants do have a little bit of the extra butt here, but that should be fine. Just scale this up a little bit. I'll move this. I'll snap it to the volume as well. Scale just out slightly. Okay, and then what's going to happen is these pants are going to be very kind of loose. So yeah, so I'm gonna just go ahead and select. I'll just delete that here. Oops. No, we're good. I got it. Okay. Scale these way out, and just kind of make another extrusion like this. Same thing over here. I'll keep the knee topology on here. That's fine. Let's scale this way out. Same with this. And then, yeah, fine. Then what we'll do is we'll make a pin group here on the pants. Which I actually have here. Click select just to confirm we selected the correct one. And what I'll also do is kind of move alt mode, just kind of move kind of out from the butt a little bit. Crotch. Oops. Inflate brush. Helpful. I'm just gonna kind of had a crease here, so I'm going to fix that up a little bit. There we go. Remove the edge creases here. Close here. One here still. Okay, and then alright, cool. So now all I'm going to do, actually, give me a second. Scale this out just a bit more. You can be pretty liberal with this. And I'm going to run the cloth physics on this. So let's go ahead. Okay, so this one has collision on it. We don't want that. The body will keep the collision on it. We'll do the cloth here. I'll just do the silk preset again. Select our pin group for object and self collisions. We want to enable lower the distance as much as possible. Just going to run this. And there we go, we got pants. And then got a little bit weird here with the knee topology, but we'll fix that up. So I'll just go ahead and convert it to a mesh here. We'll cut the left side. And we'll reapply the mirror modifier. Just one sec. Mirror. Their clips. And then, yep, now all we have to do now is just go in sculpt mode and clean it up. However we want to clean this up. I want to just kind of like move it out a little bit like this. Just a little bit of style. I can do that as well. And that's more or less how the pants are done. Let me bring the hoodie back. So what I'll do here is we'll tuck the pants underneath the hoodie. Scale this in a little bit. Like that. And that should be good. We can actually combine the two of them together as well later on. But we will stop here for today. Thank you all for those who joined. Appreciate you stopping by. And have a great rest of your day. See ya.